The Big House was jumping on Saturday as Michigan took down rival Ohio State. But before the game, all eyes were on the sidelines to see if number one quarterback Bryce Underwood would show up. He did. And in this video, we're going to find out if this visit can change the momentum of his recruitment away from LSU. Also, top 100 wide receiver was in Ann Arbor, and there's a few new recruiting predictions in Michigan's favor. But first, Michigan fans, subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We're growing this page. We got a lot of exciting stuff between now and National Signing Day. So hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Zach Libby of the Wolverine. Zach, we're going to get to Underwood here in a second. But first, top 100 wide receiver Gatlin Bair was one of the recruits that walked out of the tunnel on Saturday. Now, he's committed to Boise State, but what are you hearing on Michigan's flip chances with him?
Yeah, like you said, he's committed to Boise State, but he returned to Ann Arbor for a second time this year. He was with family and his head coach. Ron Bellamy, Michigan's wide receivers coach, was with Bair and his inner circle throughout the visit. During pregame, you could see Bair conversing with all the 2024 commits, plus including top 100 quarterback Jane Davis. But yeah, obviously with everything happening with Boise State and the firing of its head coach, Michigan's making a really increased push for Bair, who's been called, the fastest man in pads. But the message coming out of the visit was that he's really wanted, and he's going to take some time to think about his options. Obviously, the firing opened the door for Michigan to potentially flip him. Oregon State is also making as strong of a push for Bair as Michigan is, but I think the visit on Saturday really showcased what could be provided at Michigan, including, Colston Loveland, an Idaho connection, the strength and conditioning program, familiarity of in comfort of Ann Arbor, which has been comparable to his hometown in Idaho. So he's going to take some time to mull things over with his mission trip coming up soon next month. But again, I think Michigan really put itself in a position to be in contention for a flip.
Yeah, sounds like it was a good game for him to be at. Now, let's talk about somebody that was at a good game, and that's number one quarterback Bryce Underwood, the top QB and the number one overall player in the 2025 class, the pride of Belleville, Michigan. He showed up on Saturday, and it was a huge visit considering LSU is trending heavily on the recruiting prediction machine. So, Zach, how big was this visit for Michigan's chances as we're about, less than 6 weeks away from his announcement?
It's huge. Like you said, LSU has gained monumental momentum this fall after that game day visit in October. Despite Michigan getting a quarterback commitment in the 2025 recruiting class earlier this month in Carter Smith, who's in the On 300, Michigan has not waved the white flag for the player who's 30 minutes away from Ann Arbor. Kirk Campbell is still in communication with Underwood and his family. Underwood, as we mentioned, did return for his first game day visit since October of last year, and his first time ever in Ann Arbor since late July for the barbecue at the Big House. So with less than 40 days, like a little more than 40 days before his expected commitment date on January 6th, potentially getting that last game day, getting that last visit is huge for Michigan. Just for him to see what it's like to play in an atmosphere like the Big House when Ohio State comes to town, allowing him to be with the other commits. Obviously, Jane Davis was there too, so getting to speak with him, getting to speak with Kirk Campbell in person again, seeing what the offense is like under Sharon Moore, the offensive coordinator. So, I mean, having the availability to get there too, because obviously Belleville's state championship game, it takes place the day after the Ohio State game. So having practice get moved around for him to be there pregame and then stick for the first half was big. So, and just letting him monitor JJ McCarthy in person, allowing him to monitor a more balanced offense. I think it indicates that there's still interest in Michigan, and Michigan, we'll see what transpires and what's the effect of it as they battle LSU.
Yeah, so what do you think? What do you tell Michigan fans? Was this a little too late, or do you think Michigan has a real shot at landing Underwood now?
I haven't put in a prediction yet for LSU, but if I were to, I would probably put in one for the Tigers. I mean, Jane Daniels season this year has really opened the eyes of Underwood. The atmosphere of Baton Rouge. We all saw him during that October visit. Having a great time. He's always had a interest of playing in a conference like the SEC. Going back to his freshman year. But I think, just to the overall feeling right now is that, Michigan isn't just completely out of it. We're still going to keep talking about Bryce Underwood and keep talking about Michigan potentially keeping him home. But as of right now, I think the On3 recruiting prediction machine is accurate with 2 predictions right now. And if I had to pick one, it would be the Tigers.
Okay, well, today is not signing day, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires between Michigan and Underwood over the next 40 to 50 days or so. So I teased it at the top, though. New predictions. So, Zach, who are you predicting to end up that signs with Michigan? Rivalry season is here, and you better have your tickets. There's still some great games left in the season, but you know what's not great? Finding last-minute tickets. Finding tickets before a game can be a nightmare. Do not let this be the way that your season ends. That's why I'm here to tell you about Game Time. It's the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the big-time matchups. Game Time will get you to this year's biggest college football games with elite deals on last-minute tickets and the best price guarantee. Don't stress over getting into your favorite team's biggest rivalry game of the year. There's only so many big games, and you need to get these tickets at the best prices. Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Game Time has tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It is the place to find last-minute tickets. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets on all sports and even concert events. So here's what we're going to do. Snag the tickets without stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code INSIDESCOOP to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code INSIDESCOOP for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
So the Wolverine has placed 5 On3 recruiting predictions for 5 visitors who were at the game on Saturday. First one is On300 cornerback Alex Graham from IMG Academy. He's originally from Detroit and is a legacy of the school. His mother graduated from Michigan, has made 8 trips total. This was his first game day visit of the year, so this was big. The other one, On300 in-state offensive lineman Avery Gash. This was actually his 3rd game day visit of the season for Ohio State. Sharon Moore, who's the interim head coach, is making Gash a major priority next cycle. Michigan clearly has gotten a big lead for him, even though Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, and others are making as strong of a push. But he's building a really good bond with the other 2025 offensive line targets. And so, as well with the 2024 commits at the offensive line position. Third one is tight end Eli Owens from Tennessee. He actually comes from an organization like a year-round training academy called National Players Academy, who's produced Junior Colson and Mason Curtis, who's in the 2024 recruiting class. He's made 6 visits to Michigan, 2 of them being game day visits this month alone. So there's really strong familiarity. Tight ends coach Grant Newsome is the way he's been recruiting next cycle, he wants, and it's clear that there's a need for an H-back, and Eli Owens fits that bill. The fourth is 4-star defensive lineman Jalen Williams out of Chicagoland, an area that Michigan has landed at least one commit in every cycle since 2019. And it's an area of Michigan has had a lot of success with. With Williams, though, this is his 2nd visit to Michigan since July. He texted us right after the game saying it's quote, "It's a great day to be a Michigan Wolverine." Pass rush specialist Dylan Roney and defensive line coach Mike Elston are leading the way in the recruitment, and seeing the production that guys like Chris Jenkins and Mason Graham had against the Buckeyes on Saturday, I think that really moved the needle. And then the final one is Marcus Wemberly out of Arkansas. He is a 2025 commit for the Razorbacks at safety. He actually drove the 13 hours there and back to Ann Arbor to see the game. And it was his first time ever there. He was originally supposed to be there for the barbecue at the Big House in July, but committed to the home state school just beforehand. But safeties coach Jay Harbaugh is making a really big push, and their relationship is really strong. They got to be with each other, plus Wimberly's family on campus. So I think that made a big impact in how Michigan is viewed in that recruitment.
Well, it was a huge weekend with Bryce Underwood on campus, new predictions coming in, and a potential flip of Gatlin Bear. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an exciting week over on the Wolverine. If you guys want more action, that's where it's at. But today, thank you, Zach Libby, for stopping by the Inside Scoop.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Josh. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.